Ani, Bojo, Kwekwe, Tanzi. It's Catherine from Moonstarlodge in tiny Ontario, southern Georgian Bay. And this is a little pop-up video about our upcoming tarot class. Actually, there's two upcoming classes. There's Tasseomancy or tea leaf reading on Mother's Day, May 14th in the afternoon. And there's still a seat or two in that class. But this video is more about the tarot class. And what a lot of people don't know is, or may have suspected, is we are paring down our activities. COVID really took a bite out of our teaching, and health issues and age and just wanting to have a little bit more fun in retirement. We're looking at phasing out the classes here in our space. Many of you who live locally know that we had a open to the public art studio. We were part of the Bay Studio Tour for many years and other endeavors out in the community. Once I ended up in the wheelchair, it was very difficult to go out in the community. But I am losing my vision rather rapidly, and I decided that I wanted to turn my space back into quilting and art for myself. To that end, it's much more expedient to make our classes be online. So we decided to run the tarot class, tarot and oracles, but specifically tarot reading class for 6 weeks in May and June. And you can find the specifics on our website. Brian will post that below. This is a beginner to gentle intermediate class. And it will be filmed so that it can go up on our Ko-fi account platform forever. So people can, the price will be the same, they can still do all the lessons, but what you will not get on Ko-fi is the direct interaction with me. I will pop on for a live video once a month to answer questions and talk people through tarot issues that they might have, but it's not the same as being here in the house. I'm also giving up my wedding officiant's license to do marriages by the end of the year, and so consequently it's kind of a shifting gears here. So this tarot class is the beginning part of another class that will be held for sort of intermediate, advanced, maybe even getting into expert readers in the fall. So those will be the only two live with me in the house class formats for this. In the fall, we are shifting to shamanic mentoring, so we'll be doing classes on consciousness, psychic mediumship, channeling based on psychospiritual development and parapsychology. These are classes that have been our mainstay for 40 plus years here at Moonstarlodge, since my days in university doing a psychology and parapsychology degree, and then as a spiritualist, ordained and licensed spiritualist minister for several years after that, and then working in postgraduate work in parapsychology and mediumship. So we will be doing that, but the tarot cards tie into that because all of those teachings relate to what we're doing when we are connecting to Source. So let's come back to May and June of this year. It's really important to talk about basics, and although on my my weekly readings you rarely see me use actual Rider-Waite-Smith decks, I do use a lot of clones because I like the iconography or the graphics or the inclusiveness or the gender fluidness or the age inclusive images of other decks. But we will be learning Rider-Waite-Smith to get the basics down because that's the most popular deck. It's not the newest deck that we will be working with. We're also going to be working with the Toth deck, which I love. It was created by Aleister Crowley in the 1940s. And both Ralph Waite and Crowley were members of the Golden Dawn. And the Golden Dawn was a mystery school, occultists mystery school, who wanted very much to bring forward ancient mystical teachings. So I think it's important to have the balance between the two systems. We are also going to be looking at, just very briefly, the Marseille deck and looking at the commonalities between them all. The primary focus for learning, though, however, is the Rider-Waite-Smith, and then how you can extrapolate what you learn here across the other platforms. I personally love the Marseille Tarot. Here's a copy of a professional Marseille, and you may want to flip the camera for a minute, Brian. So these cards are very much larger cards, and they're good for teaching with. So you get the idea that you have these ancient medieval characters, but the language of Marseille is quite fun. They're read a little bit differently, but not so differently that what you learn with Rider-Waite-Smith will serve you well. So these two are different Marseille decks here. The Toth is the most, I would have to say, intellectually satisfying for me, and a lot of professional readers focus with Marseille. But we're going to be looking at everything Rider-Waite-Smith to begin with. And what you're going to learn is a little bit of history, very little history on the first night, but how to find decks, how to care for decks. There's a lot of gatekeeping out there about, supposed taboos, but there are care concerns for decks. So we're going to be going over those, and we'll be using some dowsing. We're going to be talking about all the psychics aspects, the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, even clairolfaction, clairalliance, the psychokinesis, of course, and when we're channeling the automatic things like automatic writing, automatic music, automatic art, that sort of thing is one aspect of psychokinesis under psychometry. So we're going to be looking at those aspects so that if you take the psychospiritual development classes in the fall, both the beginner and the advanced later in the winter, you'll have the chance to do some connecting, because everything to do with divination involves those aspects. Everything to do with meditation, yoga, all the sacred arts involve those gifts that we all have. Manifestation. So we're going to look at layouts, spreads, how you cross-connect cards, how you read the story that you lay out. You'll be given all kinds of journal pages and way more than just 3-card spreads of past, present, and future. We're going to be talking about probably 40 or 50 different kinds of 3-card spreads that will delight you. The ways to ask questions and the things not to ask. But basically, it's about learning the cards for those 6 weeks, and you come away with a binder that will be chock-a-block full of lots of things to satisfy your tarot journey over the summer. And of course, I will be bringing out lots of examples from my private collection of nearly 1,500 decks and reference books as well. So I really hope that this community at large will respond to this grand finale of the Intro Tarot course and know that we bridge this with humor and lots of fun and lots of interaction, and it's an intimate class. We're leaving it at a 12 maximum, and it's just at halfway full. So there's lots of space, but please do get your registration in, because that's what holds your seat. And again, Brian will put that information in the bottom of the screen in the information. So we thank you for your support all these years, and 2023 is going out with a bang. So bring your cards and some cookies. Bring some cookies. All right. Aho.